Welcome to John Berry's Songs and Stories for Kids with Papa Bear. Thank you for allowing us into your home today to share these great stories with you and your family. Please take a moment to share this with your friends on Facebook. Also, if you all happen to take any photos of your family enjoying and following along, we'd love to share them. Please send them to us on the John Berry Music Facebook page. Now, without further ado, here's Papa Bear.
Hey little cubs, welcome to Songs and Stories for Kids with Papa Bear. Are you having a good day? I'm having a good day. I'm so glad that you're taking time to be with me. I really enjoy getting together and sharing songs and stories with you. Have you washed your hands? I know I ask you every week, but it's still really important that we wash our hands with warm water and soap and get all the germs off and keep those germs out of our mouth, okay? It's really important. So let's keep our hands clean. Well, today is a very special day. It's Father's Day. I hope you've had a good time celebrating your dad. Father's Day was first celebrated on June 18th in 1910, over 100 years ago. But it didn't become a nationwide holiday until 1972. Sometimes it's nice to give your dad a little gift on Father's Day. You could color him a picture, or help him work in the yard, or maybe wash the car. But that's not the most important thing you can do. The things that fathers love most is when you tell him how much you love him. That's the best gift of all. Another way of showing your dad how much you love him is by giving him time to do things that he loves to do. And that's what's in the story today that we're going to read, Father's Day Blessings. Let's begin. It was early June, and all over Bear Country, June things were happening. The flowers were bursting into bloom. Birds were singing in the trees while building their nest. Butterflies danced around Mama Bear's head as she worked in her garden. And not far off, another June thing was happening. Brother, sister, and Honey were making Father's Day plans. What should we do this year, wondered Sister. It was hard coming up with something new and different each year. Papa could take us out to the movies, said Brother. There's a cool new Space Grizzlies movie coming out. I don't really like Space Grizzlies, said Sister. Maybe we should just invite Papa to a nice tea party with my Barbie dolls. Blocks, said Honey. Papa can help build with blocks. Honey was really into blocks lately. Mama couldn't help overhearing. You know, she said over her shoulder, those don't really sound like plans for Papa. They sound more like plans for you cubs. But Papa loves to do things with us, protested Brother. True, said Mama. But on his special day, maybe you should plan something just for him. Like what? Asked Sister. Mama had a suggestion. Grizzly Gran and I overheard Papa and Gramps saying they'd like to go on a fishing trip together, said Mama. Why don't we take them up to Silver Lake for the day? While they're off fishing, we can prepare a nice Father's Day picnic for them. That sounds like fun, said Brother. But then he remembered it wasn't supposed to be for him. Is it okay for us to have fun too? Of course, sweetie, said Mama, giving him a big hug. And we can help, said Sister. We'll make goodie bags for Papa and Gramps to snack on while they're fishing. Nice touch, said Mama. When Father's Day dawned, it wasn't even dawn yet. It was dark. Rise and shine, you young'uns, said Gramps, rousting the cubs out of bed. The early bird gets the worm and the early bear catches the fish. What time is it? Yawned Sister. 4 a.m., said Gramps. Why do fish get up so early? Wondered Brother sleepily. The cubs staggered into the kitchen where Mama and Gran were packing the picnic. Papa was getting fishing gear ready. The cubs noticed how happy he looked. It made them feel better about having to get up so early. They were soon bundled into the car and on their way to Silver Lake with a rowboat towing behind. As they drove through the quiet countryside, the sky started to lighten and the sun rose in a great glow of pink and gold. It was very beautiful. The cubs were glad they were up and about to see it. When they arrived at the lake, Gramps and Papa got the boat into the water while Gran and Mama and the cubs got the cooking things ready. They waved goodbye as the two dads rowed out onto the lake. "Good luck," called Mama and Gran. "Catch lots of fish," called the cubs. Gramps and Papa just smiled. Out on the lake, the two fisher bears dropped their lines in the water and let the boat drift. As they munched on the snacks the cubs had packed, they leaned back, closed their eyes, and let out great peaceful sighs. "Ah," they said. A little breeze ruffled the surface of the lake. A kingfisher flashed by in a gleam of blue. A little way off, a fish jumped. Plop! "You know," said Gramps, "at times like these, I'm just thankful to be alive in God's beautiful world. This is a wonderful Father's Day for us. But we should always remember that we have a Father in heaven too." "Yes," said Papa, "it reminds me of the old hymn." And he began to sing. "This is my Father's world, and to my listening ears, all nature sings, and round me rings the music of the spheres." Gramps joined in with Papa. "This is my Father's world. I rest me in the thought of rocks and trees, of skies and seas, His hand the wonders wrought." The sound of their singing drifted over the water. "What on earth?" wondered Gran. "They're singing," said the cubs, amazed. Mama smiled. "It sounds like they're having a nice Father's Day." "They don't seem to be doing much fishing," said Gran. "Oh, I don't know," said Mama, looking out over the beautiful lake. "There are different kinds of fishing. You've heard about fishing for souls. Maybe that's what's going on out there." Sure enough, when Gramps and Papa got back, they had nary a fish between them. But they had something else, a feeling of peace deep down inside. Another thing they had deep down inside were empty tummies, and they were as hungry as two Papa Bears. "Did I hear somebody say something about a picnic?" asked Gramps. And after saying grace, a fine Father's Day feast was had by all. The end. What a great story. It's pretty cool that the two dads got to spend the day doing something that they really enjoy getting to do. It's also a great reminder of our Heavenly Father who loves us so much. He gave us this wonderful world to share and enjoy. This is a song I wrote celebrating my dad called "The Richest Man." I knew a man, thought he had it all. 100-foot yacht he loved to show off. Had the whole wide world at his beck and call. Yeah, I knew a man thought he had it all. But the richest man I ever knew made a living with his hands. Wore a $13 pair of boots, sporting a farmer's tan. Early in the morning, I'd hear him loading up his tools, and in a rusty old Chevy I'd ride to school with the richest man I ever knew. I knew a man thought he had it all. Built a big house with a 10-foot wall. Though his friends were mostly bald, he still thought he had it all. But the richest man I ever knew lived behind a picket fence. He met my mom at 22, they could barely pay the rent. After dinner at the diner, he tipped more than he could afford. And on the way back home, I'd sit next to the richest man I ever knew. I knew a man thought he had it all. Drew his final breath last fall. Well, the nurse didn't quite know who to call for the man who thought he had it all. But the richest man I ever knew filled the old stone church, and the stories that we listened to told what his life was worth. He went to meet his maker in his only Sunday suit on the day that I said goodbye to the richest man I ever knew. Someday again I'll sit next to the richest man I ever knew. Well, it sure has been fun being with you today. Thank you so much for joining me, and be sure and tell your family and your friends, and especially your dad, how much you love them. I look forward to being with you again next week on Songs and Stories.